Here are pretty much the ugliest animals from the sea. Number 9. Pacific Black Dragon. The Pacific Black Dragon is another deep-sea predator that lives in the deep waters of the eastern Pacific Ocean from about 200 to 1,000 meters deep. These ambush predators migrate toward the surface at night for their preferred meals of small fish and crustaceans. Interestingly, the females grow to be around 2 feet long, sporting a fearsome row of menacing teeth and a long, fleshy filament which hangs down from its chin, tipped with a lure. Interestingly enough, the males only grow to be around 3 inches long and don't have any of the features the females have. In fact, they don't even have a stomach or teeth, which means they never eat. They're just there to get that job done, if you know what I mean. The males never truly leave the larval stage of development. Their sole purpose is just to mate, and then they're just done with life. Despite their eel-like appearance, the black dragon and eels aren't closely related. The larvae of these fish are also unique in its own right in that they're transparent with eyes on the tips of long stalks. It kind of looks like a weirdly cute skinny sea snail. Well, as cute as a skinny sea snail can be. Number 8. Black Sea Devil. In the tropical waters of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans lurks a monstrous little fish known fittingly as the Black Sea Devil. There are 5 known species, all within the genus Melanocetus, which can be translated from the Greek word melano, meaning black, and cetus, meaning either sea monster or whale. With its characteristic glowing lure hanging from its forehead, its huge, seemingly disproportionately sized mouths, its perpetually startled expression, and its array of almost absurdly large vicious teeth, the Black Sea Devil won't be winning any fish beauty pageants anytime soon. These fish reside in the mysterious depths of the ocean and actually are rarely seen alive or able to be observed by humans in their natural habitat. They've been found up to 3,000 meters deep. But let's talk just a little more about that crazy thing hanging off its head. The luminescent lure is poking out just to attract prey. The fact that it's a glowing light in the middle of darkness is what lures prey to them. As soon as prey gets close, then it's game over for whatever fish gets close enough. Females can grow up to the size of a baseball, whereas males are much smaller and are essentially little more than bearers of sperm. Despite theories that suggest that in order for these fish to reproduce, the males bite into the female, which causes their tissues to fuse together. This supposedly enables the male to produce sperm and put it in the female. But this is still yet to be proven. It's still a gross thought either way. Ugh. Number 7. Sea lamprey. There really should only be one word which accurately describes this grotesque and ugly parasite. Disturbing. Sea lampreys are commonly inaccurately understood to be a member of the eel family, when in reality, they're actually more closely related to sharks. Unlike bony fishes such as cod, herring, and trout, sea lampreys lack gill covers, fins, and scales. Their skeletons are made of cartilage, just like a shark's skeleton. They also have a specific anatomical feature that's both fascinating and hideous at the same time. Their super sharp teeth, which are arranged in circular rows. Their circular suction cup-like mouth makes them efficient hunters of lake trout and other bony fish. It allows them to easily latch onto whatever unlucky fish to get in its host's blood and other bodily fluids. An ancient fish native to the Atlantic Ocean, it's thought to be one of America's first destructive invasive species. Between 1830 and 1840, the sea lamprey invaded all 5 of the Great Lakes, which resulted in a considerable blow to that area's fishing business, as huge populations of trout, perch, whitefish, and sturgeon were wiped out. Within a century, the trout fishing business had pretty much collapsed. Nowadays, however, using a variety of traps, barriers, and what's known as lampricides that target sea lamprey larvae but are harmless to other aquatic life, the spread of sea lampreys is adequately controlled. Sea lampreys are actually considered a delicacy in some parts of Europe, including southwestern France. Number 6. Black swallower. Seriously, who names a fish the black swallower? That's just... never mind. Anyways, once you look at this fish long enough, it's probably gonna haunt your dreams. It's a small fish with a big appetite, as it lives almost 3,000 meters deep in tropical and subtropical waters. The black swallower has a face like a demonized snake and the ridiculous ability to consume fish larger than itself whole. Scientists believe that it can consume fish up to 10 times its mass. That's just insane. How does that even make sense? Not much is known about how exactly the black swallower possesses the ability to consume fish whole, but this boogeyman of the ocean has a set of teeth which are angled inwards, resulting in a certain fate for any poor unfortunate prey which crosses its path. Apparently its stomach is just super stretchy, and that's the reason how it's able to fit a fish twice its length. However, one of the major drawbacks of having such a gargantuan stomach is that sometimes the fish it eats starts decomposing before the black swallower has time to digest the fish. This results in a buildup of gas, which makes the black swallower float to the surface, often killing it along the way to the ocean surface. If that's not gluttony, I don't know what is. Number 5. Asian sheepshead wrasse. The Asian sheepshead wrasse is one of the largest wrasse native to the western Pacific Ocean. Here's something a little less ominous than most of the other entries, but it's still looking like something only a mom can love. With its giant protrusions on its so-called chin and forehead, along with its fairly unsightly grayish-pink color, it's still an animal that was indisputably beaten with that good old ugly stick. But you know what? Even as weird as this fish looks, it's actually weirdly cute. This guy can be found swimming around Ogasawara Islands, China, the Korean Peninsula, and Japan. Inhabiting rocky reefs and feeding primarily on crustaceans and shellfish, the Asian sheepshead wrasse can grow up to a little over 3 feet in length. When these fish are young, they're actually significantly different. Before maturing and becoming a bulbous little elephant manfish, juvenile Asian sheepshead wrasse are actually decently good looking. It has vivid yellowish orange colors with black patches on the fins and tail, along with a white stripe down its side. Definitely much better looking than later on in its life. Number 4. Atlantic wolffish. The Atlantic wolffish, which belongs to the wolffish family, is a marine fish found in the northwest Atlantic Ocean. Its powerful canine-like teeth located at the front of its powerful jawbones ensure that this isn't the type of fish you want to mess with. Atlantic wolffish prefer fairly deep waters of around 30 meters and favor the rocky areas where they can hide and wait for their prey, which consists predominantly of shellfish, sea urchins, lobsters, crabs, and starfish. Because of the icy temperatures where they hang out, they're notably capable of producing a natural antifreeze, which ensures their blood flows fluidly. Wow, not gonna lie, that's pretty damn cool. While this guy looks like a corny ghost-like creature from an old horror movie, the Atlantic wolffish actually serves a vital ecological function. It helps to keep the numbers of pesky sea urchins down, which helps to keep the decimation of kelp forest beneath the sea under control. Sadly, however, most likely as a result of bycatch and overfishing, the Atlantic wolffish is currently undergoing something of a decimation itself and are listed as a species of special concern. Number 3. Deep sea lizardfish. If you guys ever get to lay your eyes on a deep sea lizardfish in real life, consider yourself lucky because these guys live at the bottom of the sea. The vampirish creature resides in tropical and subtropical oceans around the world, in depths of the ocean in which less than 1% of the sun penetrates and where only bioluminescent light exists. It's basically the area where animals don't need any good looks whatsoever, and probably a big reason why this guy looks the way he does. With the body of an eel, the face of a demented lizard, and hundreds of razor-sharp teeth, the deep-sea lizardfish looks more like a cousin to Venom than some random fish in the sea. This not-so-pretty little guy lives at least 600 meters and at most 3,500 meters below sea level, which translates to just a bit over 2 miles on the ocean floor. Deep-sea lizardfish are one of the world's deepest living apex predators, and won't hesitate to eat anything they meet, including their own kind. Chances are we'll never accidentally run into one of them. Though they eat mostly fish, these nightmarish beasts will snap up just about any unlucky thing they encounter. These dudes are actually not dudes at all. nor dudettes. They're hermaphrodites, which means they have both female and male organs. This also means that they can mate with any member of their species, which can only be a good thing given that love can probably be a hard thing to find at the bottom of the sea. Even more so when they look how they look. Number 2, deep sea dragonfish. Ever watch the movie Aliens? Well, the deep sea dragonfish is pretty much the cousin of those aliens. It's a feral predator lurking in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, ranging from 700 meters to 1,000 meters below the surface in a region called the bathyal zone. The bathyal zone, also known as the midnight zone, is where 0% sunlight penetrates. As a result of the sheer lack of natural light, this dragonfish's bioluminescent photophores, the glandular organs that appear as luminous spots on many other marine animals as well, light up when threatened or disturbed. This helps the dragonfish get around at such extreme depths. It also helps to attract prey and potential mates. Hey, if that's not a good 2-for-1 deal, I don't know what is. Despite its terrifying appearance, they're probably not that scary in real life as they only grow to be around 6 inches. Well, the females that is, as the males are much smaller. While little is known about the mating habits of these fish, the females produce and lay eggs in the water that are subsequently fertilized by the male. The eggs then float to the surface and hatch, and in time, these little sea devils return to the deep sea as they mature. Ah, what a cute little story. Pfft. Number 1, viperfish. Similar to the deep sea dragonfish, and possibly even uglier, we're now discussing the viperfish. Allegedly loitering between a depth of 250 and 5,000 feet in tropical and temperate waters, the vampirish viperfish is notorious for being one of the fiercest predators of the deep seas. I'm sure that's quite unsurprising given its intimidating physical features. During the night, they swim to the shallower waters of around 2,000 feet where food is more plentiful. Their low basal metabolic rate, however, means that they can survive for days without food. Its teeth are so disproportionate to its relative size of around 30 centimeters that they can't actually fit inside its mouth. This results in the viperfish's mouth remaining perpetually open. The viperfish has a long dorsal spine which is tipped with a photophore, and the bioluminescence which emanates from its spine is used to, you guessed it, attract prey and confuse prey into thinking it's actually a nice little happy meal in the sea. The viperfish will generally tend to hang out motionless, simply waiting for the arrival of its prey by waving its lure. When the prey does eventually fall for its lure, the viperfish has very few problems attacking and consuming whatever it is with its gigantic teeth and large stomach, which is apparently helpful when its prey is unusually large. Here's what's next. Have you ever seen or heard of any of these? Let us know in the comments. Reportedly, a goat with 7 legs has been born in Jiaoliu Township, Taonan, Jilin Province in China. The owner of the goat, a woman surnamed Song, explained that it was a difficult